This is Gene Bohensky from Reel to Reel Warehouse, and I wanted to say a couple of words about leader tape. Now, this is an interesting subject. Leader tape is used in the professional world for a variety of reasons. It's used to have a certain expendable amount of tape at the beginning of the reel, but it's also used for splicing tapes and for adding space between songs on master tape reels. But why should you use leader tape for your own tapes, that you have in your home? Well, there's a couple of reasons. The first one is many of the high quality tapes came with leader, and they came with long leaders. The leader did a couple of things. First of all, the most important thing is at the beginning of the reel, there's that really small hub. There's usually a little slit that you would put and thread your tape into. What's important that the leader tape did is it protected the beginning of the tape from getting a little a little crease in it for when it was always wound around that little notch. The leader tape protected your tape against being permanently mangled by that crease. That's important to do, and especially for thin tapes. That's why a lot of the Japanese tapes had much longer leaders than any of the other brands. The leader also makes it possible to grab onto something that's not expendable when you're threading that tape through the machine. So instead of the tape itself being mangled, the leader tape is mangled. It's also expendable. That's also important. It also gives you a nice quality feel to the tape because that leader tape is actually protecting the first couple of winds of tape on the reel. And I think that's very important to put a leader tape on the tapes that you have, especially for long-term storage. My recommendation is that if you have any pre-recorded tapes, I would install a leader on them, especially the tapes that were produced with acetate backing. As you know, the acetate tapes are brittle and they're fragile, and you don't really want to be winding that brittle, fragile acetate tapes through your tape path. It's a good idea to put on 6 or 10 feet of leader tape to make sure you protect that acetate tape. I've also noticed that it protects the acetate tape from the environmental effects. A lot of times the acetate tape is affected by the environment, whether it's too wet or too dry. The acetate can dry out and make the tape extra brittle. By putting a couple of winds or reels filled with leader tape, you can protect that acetate tape. I would recommend making sure you have some leader tape on hand so that you can put that leader on the tapes that you love. We've recently started selling reel-to-reel leader tape in our store because I came into a lot of it, and I sell it in smaller lengths, really about 250 feet. It's probably all you'll ever need. We sell it at a very low price. We have a variety of different types and different colors. And so I suggest you get some if you're into the hobby and put that leader tape on your reels that don't have any leader. It'll really help the longevity of the tape, make it easier to thread through your machine, and protect your acetate tapes from snapping when you're winding them.